And welcome to the Nasboys podcast. Now, did you know that Kevin Harvick used to train in Taekwondo? He tried to do it so he could stay more fit for NASCAR races and to get himself focused. I'm not entirely sure if he still does Taekwondo, but that's pretty cool considering that I'm also a black belt in Taekwondo. Kevin managed to make his way to green belt, and according to the instructor, he was one of, if not the best student he had ever taught. So anyways, guys, welcome to the Nasboys podcast. I'm your host, Mike, a.k.a. Mike Bob Fan 101, with my good friend and co-host, Cam, a.k.a. Noticed_Cam.
Howdy, y'all.
So let's get started with talking about NASCAR. We are going to get started with the weekend's races over at Talladega, kicking it off with the Xfinity race. Cam, would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first?
Does not matter. You can go first. Why not?
Okay, I will go first this time. So, the Xfinity race, I didn't really get a chance to catch too much of it. I watched the final stage. Honestly, it was really about what you would expect with an Xfinity race at Talladega, the weird pushing package. And I kind of am starting to understand why the Xfinity and trucks implement this package, because with a couple of the wrecks, especially the one that caused the 3 overtimes for the first one, with Sam Mayer and Austin Hill.
I was telling you, but everybo's pushing and dragging the brake now.
Oh,
No,
Sam Mayer out of shape. He collects Austin Hill.
Wow. Guy that dominated all day is in a wreck with less than 5 to go.
And that's where you see, Talladega, there's never a great place to be sometimes.
Wow. That was all.
That was locking bumpers, and I don't think these Xfinity cars can take it. So that made it more understandable. But overall, I would give the race maybe a 6. It wasn't too bad of a race. Noah Gragson Christian got his pick right, so that was a pretty solid event. I'm glad to see Noah Gragson win because he did deserve to win on a plate track. But as a Justin Allgaier fan, it really sucked seeing him run out of fuel like that in the 3rd overtime.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked to see Gregson win, honestly, a little bit. A little bit of me just had some minor confusion on that. Like, I was just like shocked. I was like, holy crap, like Gregson actually won. I don't know. I guess I just didn't see that coming.
Right.
But overall, it was a good race. I'd probably give it like what Mike said, a 6 out of 10. They had its moments of being eventful, and the overtimes was expected. Which it's Talladega, it's how it goes. In these recent years, anyways. And yeah, I noticed that they had the whole, they did have more problems with Xfinity on Talladega. Like that once, Mike pointed that out, and then I thought about it. I really saw that there were definitely a lot more problems with that package and how it runs. So hopefully they can fix that, because it definitely caused some problems.
All right, so now let's take a look at what you guys had to say. 50% of you said great, 33% of you said good, 8% of you said meh/okay, and 9% of you said bad. Kim Runfelt says unexpected crashes. Henry24257 says lots of wrecks and an incredible drive from Jeffrey Earnhardt, 9 out of 10. Yes, how could I forget? Jeffrey Earnhardt driving the famous number 3. It was a similar throwback to his grandfather's, but obviously with Forever Lawn. My take on this, it's a typical Richard Childress publicity stunt. That's also why Larry McReynolds was the crew chief, but it was still interesting and really surreal to see an Earnhardt in the number 3. And I'm glad that they did put an Earnhardt in the number 3 instead of just someone that just doesn't deserve it. I feel like the Earnhardt name should just always be tied to the 3 and not someone like Austin Dillon.
About time. Finally had someone with the Earnhardt name take over the 3 car for just a race. It just looks so much better. So much better.
Yeah, I mean, he did a great job. He led a few laps, I believe 10, maybe more. He finished second after an amazing final lap.
Look at this. Allgaier's pulled out of line. He must be out of fuel.
I was
He was
telling
one
you.
that we felt good about, too,
Yeah.
with 4 tires.
Oh, my goodness. And he's got no momentum.
And that might
Noah
bring
got
out
the
yet
lead.
another caution. We'll keep an
Yeah.
eye on the 7 right now. Noah Gragson jumps to the race lead.
Yeah, but he's not going to make it.
I mean, Noah's got the lead right now, and then, yeah, Allgaier's down out of the way. The pace car's ready to pull up behind him, but here we go. We got Sieg pushing Allmendinger.
I'm actually watching the pace car.
Now remember, once we get back to the white flag, the next flag will end the race. Allgaier's gotten off the track and is behind the wall. Noah Gragson leading.
I tell you, this is when the cat and mouse game begins, and you hope that there's the inertia from behind, but right now Noah's going to do all he can to block all lanes of traffic.
We've had 12 last lap passes at Talladega, 4 of them in 8 races this year. White flag is out. Next flag will end the race. Can Gragson finish the deal?
Again, like all the cars are spread out back there. None of them are really lined up, but there's still such a long way to go to get back for another lap. Oh, he clipped him. Saved it.
That was Sieg out of shape. Here
car's
comes
got
the
to run.
3 at Jeffrey Earnhardt in that outside lane.
I'll tell you,
Come
that
on, Bree.
outside lane.
Earnhardt down low, pushing A.J. Allmendinger. Riley Herbst is in the mix. Brett Moffitt is there. Everyone behind the 9 of Noah Gragson.
There
Come
they
on,
go.
3.
They're 3 wide behind Noah.
Back up to him now.
Start-finish line down past the tri-oval at Talladega. Here they come. This will finish it in Alabama. Who's it going to be?
Down.
Noah Gragson wins it at Talladega Superspeedway.
Another driver that really impressed me, Cesar Barcala for Alpha Prime. He's the co-owner. He was in the top 10 for a lot of the race, but unfortunately he got wrecked out. Driver of the day. The majority of people voted for Jeffrey Earnhardt, but Noah Gragson. Actually, no. Noah Gragson and Jeffrey Earnhardt tied. My mistake. I don't really know who I want to give it to. Because Noah Gragson did drive a good race. So Jeffrey Earnhardt, they both drove a good race. What do you think, Cam?
I'm gonna go Jeffrey, but I do think Noah. Like, if someone else is to say Noah, I would not disagree.
Right. I mean, another driver that could be considered was Austin Hill. I thought he was going to win the race, but again, he got taken out in that wreck, which caused overtime. So I don't know. I think it's between Austin Hill and Noah Gragson for me, and I'm going to go with Austin Hill.
Okay, that's that.
All right, next up, we got the Cup race. This was a great race. Exactly why I love Talladega. Talladega is better than Daytona. Don't at me. I still love Daytona, but Talladega just something about it is just better to me, in my opinion. Great racing all around. We saw William Byron dominating a lot, and Eric Jones too. Eric Jones was a force to be reckoned with on the plate tracks in the middle years of the Gen 6, but in the later years, he kind of just sort of faded away. But no, he finally came back, led a lot of laps. Bubba Wallace, in my opinion, he drove a really good race, probably his best one for 23XI, but he could not close the deal. He got involved in that final lap wreck.
Kyle Larson, big push. Does it go to the outside?
Gonna have to. Here he goes. And he's in the wall. Opens the door up for the one. Ross Chastain. And on the outside, Kyle Larson added. Oh my gosh. How about you? Ross Chastain. Ross is the boss of Talladega.
Ross just kept it straight. Everyone else went everywhere.
Well, he was able to. The 5 move, making that move to the outside, getting the big block by Eric Jones. Got him doubled up on the outside. How about this? Trackhouse Racing in victory lane again this season.
Ty Dillon, he impressed me yet again. He had another great run. He was in the top 10 for a lot of the race, but unfortunately, he got taken out when me and Cam's driver, Joey Logano, got taken out in that wreck in the middle of stage 1, which really sucked.
He comes.
Oh, the 22 in the wall. Back down in front of the field.
Oh, he takes out Ty Dillon and Daytona 500 winner Austin Cindric. A lot of cars with damage. Keselowski's navigating.
Unbelievable.
Thanks, Truex and Jones. I mean, that's basically all I really have to say. The race was really, really good. I enjoyed it a lot. There were some parts where there was trains. I'm going to go maybe 8.59. That was a really good race.
I'm gonna give it a solid 9.5, in my opinion. Great race, and it wasn't like most of Talladega and Daytona endings how there's multiple wrecks before the ending and all that. We actually had a chance just to get a full-on, really good ending, like a super good ending. I mean, that was in my opinion, that was a really, really good ending. Especially for Talladega. I do think Talladega is better than Daytona. There's just something about it. There's a lot more action. And it seems like it just ups the ante a little bit. I don't know. I saw that though, and Ty Dillon was doing pretty good. He impressed me a lot. It sucks to see him get taken out because he was up there, man. I mean, he was battling pretty good, pretty hard. He definitely impressed me. Trying to think who else really caught my eye. Eric Jones was my pick. I will be honest. I gotta give a backstory now. So I wasn't there on the podcast. Mike texted me. He's like, "Hey, what's your pick for Cup?" And me thinking 20, and for some reason, my head didn't click of, "Oh, Bell." I thought of old past seasons for some awful reason. And thought immediately of Eric Jones, which he shut out for me. But Eric Jones is also an idiot. It's in one of those cases from that race, which I know Mike remembers very well.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was Jones' fault at first, but it was actually Truex from the analysis I heard from Joey Logano.
I have not seen the analysis, but it looked like Jones' fault to me, though. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't.
Yeah, from what I heard from Joey, if you listen to his post-crash interview with Jamie Little, he basically said Truex was trying to stack up the field so he could get help, and I guess Joey couldn't see it. And then Bubba, he couldn't see that they were slowing down. I saw a video from Bubba's in-car camera, and yeah, you just couldn't really tell the difference. So it's understandable. It happens. It's just racing. But Truex is dumb. Definitely was dumb for that. But I'm not going to blame Jones and Bubba too much for it.
No. Honestly, it's one of those racing incidents where, at the end of the day, it's just like a racing incident, really. I mean, it happened. Big old wreck. What can you do about it? But overall, a really good race.
Right. Now let's take a look at what you guys had to say. 50% of you said great, 38% of you said good, 13% of you said meh/okay, and none of you said bad. We got Henry24257 again saying, heck of a finish and great racing all day. LFG Ross, 9 out of 10. Yes, Ross Chastain with the great move to get his second win of the season. Again, another track where I did not expect Ross Chastain to win. I didn't expect him to run that well even. I mean, I expected him to run good, but Ross Chastain has really proven himself to be a championship contender. Like I said, I believe a couple of episodes ago, William Byron and Ross Chastain are so far my early season championship picks. They're just both running so great and both showed out this past weekend.
Yeah, about time that Ross got a win, man. He's stayed up in that top 10. It's like every race almost. So good to see him get a win.
Savage NASCAR, who usually is on the podcast, but he could not make it this week. He says, Ross win, baby. Drivers that haven't won much in their careers led and had a chance to win. That is an excellent point. Again, like I said, Eric Jones, he was really leading. Bubba Wallace was doing a good job. William Byron, I know that he's really become a championship favorite, but he hasn't really won that much in his career. He's only won about like 5 races? I can't even remember the exact number. But yeah, William Byron, still a young driver. No driver of the day. Honestly, it comes down to William Byron, Bubba Wallace, and Eric Jones. I'm going to go with William Byron because he stayed up in the front for most of the day. and was leading a lot, and he was working really well with Elliott and Larson.
I'm also going to give it to Byron. He seemed to have somewhat of a strategy. I mean, he was working around his way and making it through the whole race up in the front, so I give it to him.
Right. All right. Now let's talk about some big news topics coming up in this past week. Honestly, involving Joe Gibbs Racing a ton. The first one is the big news from the weekend, which was Kyle Busch and his comments about Joe Gibbs Racing re-signing him. So a lot of people think that he's trolling because we all know Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch loves to troll in his interviews. He loves to always give the interviewers one question or one answer, and he's just like, don't care, or I'm just here so I don't get fined. And this time he had some stuff to say about his team owner. He got asked if he was going to stay at Joe Gibbs, and he said, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. Goodbye. And that he's basically not stressing about his future. So a lot of people are wondering if Kyle Busch is going to leave Joe Gibbs Racing. I personally don't think he will. And if Joe Gibbs does get rid of Kyle Busch, unless it's a mutual agreement, I think that would be very stupid. Kyle Busch is one of the best NASCAR drivers on the circuit right now, and arguably a top 10 driver of all time. Why would you get rid of him? I understand the sponsorship issue, but it's Kyle Busch. I know he's a little hard to like at times, but he's very good for sponsorship. I'm sure a lot of companies would want to sponsor him. I mean, we're seeing, Yahoo with cars now. I've seen rumors that Yahoo could go to him. I know a lot of people want Hershey. I could even see his own energy drink, Rowdy Energy, coming in to sponsor him. So, I mean, Kyle Busch, I don't see why he would leave Joe Gibbs unless he retires or it's a mutual agreement. So I hope he doesn't leave Joe Gibbs. The sport needs him.
Yes, agreed. I think it's one of the things where I do think he is trolling. I've heard some speculations of some people saying that maybe he's retiring, which I just don't see happening. I feel like he's still got some more in him. You know what I mean? I mean, he's still running fine. He's still happy. He's still trolling the people. I mean, if he was to retire, I'd be very shocked and hurt. Oh, I'd be so hurt, dude. I'd be so hurt. But I feel like JGR, they're going to try their best to hold on to him, even with the sponsorship issue, because he's their best driver. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, he's put on the most for them, and he's done a lot for them. He's his best driver. They're going to want to keep him. And I do kind of wonder if maybe Kyle Busch is testing out his options and just letting everybody know that, hey, I am going to be somewhat free. So, Kyle Busch, he is a troller, but he's also a businessman. And I feel like maybe he's thinking about himself leaving JGR and going somewhere else. Now, where to? No clue.
I mean, I don't know really where he could go. I hear Cole Custer is on the hot seat at Stewart-Haas, so could he create a super team sort of at Stewart-Haas with Kevin Harvick? I don't see that happening at all, but I don't know, man. That's just the only place I can think of if Custer is really on the hot seat.
Ooh, a racing team? Rowdy Racing?
No, I'm talking about like a super team, but if he makes his own team and he brings KBM in, I don't know how I'd feel about that. A lot of people.
Well, he could make his own super teams. What I'm trying to say. I mean, I don't know. He does have his own energy drink, so.
Right. I mean, I don't know why he would bring KBM in because they're already a successful truck team. I don't want that personally because I feel like that'd just be too many Toyotas, and I don't think he'd do that because that might just be a lot of money.
But like Cole Custer, really? You think so?
I read an article about it. I just saw one, and I don't blame Stewart-Haas. Cole Custer is not doing good this season, besides Richmond. I mean, Chase Briscoe, he already has a win. Eric Almirola had a great start to the season. Kevin Harvick is always consistent and possibly on his way out within the next year. What has Cole Custer done? He got one lucky win at Kentucky.
You got a good point. You have a good point. That's true. I give you that.
And the other news from this weekend was Denny Hamlin. So basically, Denny Hamlin reposted a meme from a famous NASCAR meme account on Instagram, Dank NASCAR Memes. Here's the meme.
Cut across 8 lane. None? I turn now. Good luck, everybody else.
We've covered a meme similar to this previously, but obviously this one involves Kyle Larson with him triggering the final lap wreck, which I think I might have shown, but if I did not, here it is. So yeah, a lot of people were getting offended by it because the person in the video, or the cartoon character in the video, is an Asian woman, and Kyle Larson is part Asian, which I don't think should matter because you can use that meme with anything. You could use it with Joey Logano. I've seen that instance be used many times. Kyle Larson earlier in the season, that meme was used because Kyle Larson does throw stupid blocks. I'm not a Hamlin fan whatsoever, but I thought that was ridiculous by NASCAR to make him take it down, or whoever was taking it down, and to give him the sensitivity training. Now, I know the sensitivity training isn't that bad, but my point is the world is just soft. I could see maybe where it would be a little bit offensive, but just this world is so soft. People just find reasons to get offended every day, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get too much information about that whole situation, but I definitely think it's stupid. I think it was undeserved. And this is coming from a Logano fan. So, I mean, keep in mind, I mean, this is like, this is how we are, we say the honest truth in all means. I mean, really, this crappy situation for Hamlin, I mean, I think to give him sensitivity training is very stupid. I mean, if you really want to talk about offensive, let's talk about Larson. And I can bring that whole conversation up again, which I'm not going to. But, I mean, I think it's just crappy. And if there was a bunch of people whining about it, and then whoever took that down, unless it was like, that's just so stupid. And I mean, that's stupid. I mean, really. And the fact that they're going to give him sensitivity training over it is like so dumb. So dumb. NASCAR is making themselves look horrible, and I hope the fans really show what they believe on the whole situation and how they think it's stupid, because I don't think he deserves sensitivity training.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, we're back. So let's get down to talking about our meme of the week for this week. Here it is. So for context, obviously a lot of people were blaming Bubba Wallace and or Eric Jones for the wreck that happened with Joey Logano, myself included. So yeah, Martin Truex just thought he got away with that, but he really didn't.
Yeah, no, he did not get away.
All right. So now let's get into our picks for this weekend at Dover. For Xfinity, I'm going to go ahead and say Justin Allgaier. We got only Xfinity and Cup for this weekend.
I'm also going to go Allgaier.
Yeah, Allgaier, I feel like is going to redeem himself. He's pretty good at Dover. And now for Cup, I'm going to go with Kyle Larson. This is going to be the first of many, since we're going to a lot of these mile and a half tracks. This is going to be the first of many Larson picks this coming stretch.
Go Byron.
Byron, that's a good pick.
Dude, he's been on a roll lately, man. I just feel like, and it's a mile. I feel like him and Larson are going to really be battling up in front.
Right. All right, with that, that's going to conclude this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. Make sure you guys follow our socials. Join the official Nasboys Fantasy League. And we will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Peace.
You want me calling now, you wanted what I think.